What up, family? It's your boy, Adewale M. I'm back again with another one, man. I'm just hyped, man. Today I watched the press conference between Claressa Shields and Christina Hammer, and I was just hyped. I was hyped beyond expectation. Like, I'm normally not this excited about females boxing, but this particular event is gonna be lit. It's gonna be a good, interesting fight. And the entire show, the way Showtime Boxing is promoting this fight, the way they're putting the cards, the way they're editing the videos and creating a nice promotion for the video, for the event, it's gonna be a good fight. And I really hope that fight is a success. I mean, financially, and also I hope that fight is like a pivotal point for a lot of women to be much more interested in the sport of boxing. Because at the end of the day, the sport of boxing has a lot of negativity. It's a violent, brutal sport. There is a huge chance someone can get killed, someone can get seriously, permanently injured. But at the same time, it has way more positives than the negatives. All right, me personally, I support the sport of boxing for women because, number one, if you think about it, if you're a female boxer, you're teaching yourself how to develop a good self-defense. So your self-defense skills are skyrocketing. The moment you become a female boxer, the moment you start going to the gym, you're training, you're hitting the bags, you get a trainer to teach you new techniques, teach you leg movements, good body work, hand movements, all that kind of stuff. It helps you with your self-defense. So nobody should argue with that particular advantage that the sport of boxing has on women, even on men. But I'm just talking about women right now because it's women that are fighting. And let's keep in mind, this particular fight is tagged as the biggest boxing fight in female boxing history, period. So that's a huge thing, right? Another reason why the sport of boxing is really good in women is it keeps a lot of women in shape. I mean, so many women these days, they are so concerned about what they physically look like. But if you're in the sport of boxing, you already have that advantage because now you're getting in shape. At the same time, you're teaching yourself self-defense skills and you're toning. Before you know what's up, you're going to be having six packs. You're going to be having nice butts because you're doing squats and all that kind of stuff. Like all those fantasies that you've always had, you easily achieve them by training yourself in the sport of boxing. I mean, you don't have to go all hard. You don't have to go all out and become a full-time professional. But at the same time, being an amateur, you're helping yourself, get that physical goal, that physical feature that you want to achieve, right? So that's another advantage about the sport of boxing for women. And the third thing I can think about is the sport of boxing in women, it helps women it boosts women's self-confidence. Because you think about it, if you're already winning in terms of your self-defense abilities, so now you're more confident that if you get in any situation, you are able to protect yourself to an extent at least, right? Secondly, if you're looking physically fit, you're beginning to develop those physical, those nice shapes that you want to achieve. Once you're achieving those two faculties in your life, naturally your self-defense is going to skyrocket. So the sport of boxing is important because you also achieve good self-confidence. So there is nothing, with those three advantages alone, that overrides a lot of disadvantages. And who doesn't want to look good? Who doesn't want to have good self-confidence? Who doesn't want to have good self-defense? So anyways, back to the sport of boxing, to the fight happening between Claressa Shields and Christina Hammer. Showtime Boxing is doing a great job with the promotion. I am really, really intrigued. I'm much more excited. Right after watching the press conference, all that came to my mind was, now I'm not going to miss this fight for any reason. They did a good job putting the production of the event, the press conference. The guy sitting down in the middle of Claressa Shields and Christina Hammer. He did a great job asking nice questions. The ladies at some point, they were trying to go back and forth against each other, but to me it wasn't really looking like beef. It was more like, there was that undertone of respect. But that's how women are, man. Even when women hate each other, they still subliminally praise each other, if you know what I mean. Like, they don't absolutely go out trying to take each other's heads off. But it is what it is, man. Me personally, I am just excited about the fight. I'm gonna try to leave a link to the press conference in the comment section of this video so that you can go ahead and watch it for yourself. But it's gonna be a nice fight. I implore you boxing fans to watch the fight, and we need to have it at the back of our mind. The most important piece of information about this fight is that the two ladies are fighting for the number 1 position in the middleweight division. Because one lady, Christina, I think she has 3 titles. There are 4 titles in the sport of boxing, 4 major titles. There is the WBC, WBA, IBF, and WBO. So Christina has 3 of those titles, and she was in another division previously, in the super middleweight division. She was in the super middleweight division. She won titles. Now she's in the middleweight division. So that was 168 to 160 pounds. So now she's on the 160 division. She has 3 titles. The other lady, Christina, she was also in the super middleweight division. I think she won 2 titles at a point. Now she's in the middleweight division. She has 1 title. So the 2 women have all the 4 titles, which is a very good thing, because we hardly get that in the sport of boxing. Normally, the 4 titles would have been split amongst 4 different people. So it makes it harder to determine whom is the top dog in the division. But this time around, we have it easily, like it's laid on the platter of gold for us. We have 2 women that hold the 4 titles, and they're about to have a fight. So that makes the fight's magnitude really huge. All right, so I'm excited about this fight. It's going to be a great event. I hope it's financially successful. I hope the best woman wins at the end of the day, and I also hope both women step outside the ring after the fight without no long-term permanent injuries, no deaths, no serious damages on them. I just want them to go into the fight, give their all into the fight, best competitor wins, and so be